All right, cool. Do you want to count us down this time?
Yeah, sure. 3, 2, 1, mark.
That's pretty good. I
Yeah.
feel like that was pretty good of us.
We're not bad. We're getting. This is the professional leagues where we get to actually clap synchronized. Um, should I take this off?
Yeah, the oh god, people are actually listening to this leagues.
Yeah. The holy shit, I think we actually started a real podcast when we were just kind of using an excuse to phone call each other regularly.
It is
Whoops,
truly
now
the
people
most,
are
like-
listening.
It's truly so, like, I, of course, it's like shit talking and edible, where it's like, this isn't gonna hit, this is nothing. It was just like, well, surely no one's gonna listen to this. Like, again, I was joking to you that I think, Brad, I know you're listening. If I'm wrong about how many downloads the DFL show is getting, please let me know. That would be great for my ego. But as far as I'm aware, like, 140 listeners a week or something minor. Like, that show was, it was on the Hooniverse network.
we were okay, so full disclosure, like 90% of the time when I try things, I get absolutely nowhere. It is just like no response to emails or form letter rejections, or I did a print shop last summer and I sold like 3 prints. It's just generally, I've had a straight year of just complete rejection. So I'm at a point now where I'm like, anything I try is because I have fully internalized myself as transgender Sisyphus. Sisyphus, if you will.
Sisyphus.
And so I and so I this exploding kind of knocked me backwards, like being hit by a car.
Yeah, I guess we're just going, by the way. Let's actually finish the intro.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Oh,
hello,
this show
and welcome
sucks.
welcome to Trangirlismo, the incredibly professional automotive podcast. I am your host, Victoria Scott. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, I am Jordan Hofstetter. My pronouns are she and her.
All right, yeah. Now we both know what we're doing. We're both really professional and good at this. That's why we're both ex-automotive journalists.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have a nervous breakdown when Patrick George offered me my first big girl job and then just didn't do it.
All I have to say is there was a moment in my life roughly 1 week ago where I had Photoshop open and was fucking around with the kerning, italicization, and the tails of the R's in Helvetica. And I was like, no one's gonna give a shit. I am absolutely putting way too much work into this project that is mostly just Jordan and I hanging out because we're friends and missed talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw some retweets come in and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I spent the extra half an hour on those R's.
The logo and the name really, and you and people liking you on various things
People
really
like
did some. People like me fine. I'm not disagreeable. I am. Once again, I have been called the most well-adjusted woman on Blue Sky, and let me tell you, I take that one to heart. I love being normal. I love being normal. I love being palatable. God, like, I know one published article about us, granted self-published, but still someone wrote several thousand words about us earlier today. I don't know if you saw that.
No, my mother-in-law came by and she took us to the grocery store, and then I introduced her to the concept that her daughter-in-law is probably trying to make podcasting work because jobs I can't get an actual employer to call me back. And she was like, hey, that seems cool. And then I told her about our first news item.
Yeah, well, let's feel good for another minute. Let's pat ourselves on the back for another minute or two, and then we could enter, it's true, like, podcast years where days happen. I don't know. That expression gets more and more tortured every time I think about it, because we have been living in weeks where decades happen for a decade now, which I
Yeah.
think we mean. I think we've experienced thousands of years of American torment, like fully.
I will
Uh,
just say thank you all so much for listening and being so kind and nice. It really, it even if this goes nowhere and we just like hang out and do a podcast, like I didn't even figure out episode structure yet or any of that kind of stuff. We just kind of wanted to hang out. So, thank you all for being so incredibly kind. It just made me feel good.
yeah, it's nice. I did. It was so nice that it made my tummy hurt from anxiety that I had to be like, oh god, we've got to this was going to be the goofy, like, low stakes side project, and now
No.
people like it, so that we should keep doing it.
Yeah.
um
Well, I have good news because it's okay if
yeah, go for it.
I have good news because the universe has decided that it also likes our podcast, and it has bestowed upon us the greatest episode 2 piece of content that we could ever discuss, which is that Indycar has announced it will host the America 250 Grand Prix on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., at the pleasure and discretion of the Fuhrer himself. Which, like, I had like a whole show notes thing where I was like, oh, we got to figure out the tone of this show now. We got to like do like serious news. And I had like some industry stuff, and then this dropped, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, never mind. This every week is gonna have some headline like this, because I think this is what we were getting at the initial episode. This is what I kept talking about when I worked in the industry, was like, politics unfortunately have consumed all, and now it is impossible to even enjoy a racing series without it becoming a spectacle that is intended to either glorify America or put down the wokes, or what you will. And as a matter of fact, this is like, they are going to put down wokes in order to do this. They're doing it by executive order. So Muriel Bowser is once again just going to get run over roughshod, so that they can drive fast cars next to the Washington Monument in the middle of fucking August in Washington, D.C.
I know we joked about going, because what was my what was my text to you? My text to you was oh god, you sent it to me, and then oh god, what did I say? I think yeah, here it is. I am of course of two minds about this. One, this sucks so bad. IndyCar is so full of fascists. Two, I want to go.
Yeah. Somebody, when I posted about this on Blue Sky, somebody immediately replied and was like, hey, post a fund for travel, legal, and bail so you can report live from the race.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, so August 21st to 23rd. So interestingly, this shoves the IndyCar calendar for August now to have a road course in Markham in Ontario the weekend before, and then have the DC race in the middle of fucking August on the National Mall, and a track that hasn't been invented yet, with permitting that hasn't been figured out. But don't worry, Sean Duffy's on it. Like, he's gonna call. He personally actually came to IndyCar and was like, "You guys should do this. It'd be so cool. We'll have the UFC fight on the fucking front lawn of the White House next to the smoldering ruins of the East Wing." In July, and then for the next month you can come and do IndyCar around it. But anyway, after they do this incredibly stupid event, they go to the Milwaukee Mile for a double header, 2 races back to back in one weekend. And I'm sure that going from Canada to DC to Milwaukee and changing from road course to oval in a week while they are driving cross country won't be challenging at all.
No, like, on one hand, I do feel bad for everyone on the IndyCar side of things who is not cheering for this because they're horrible Republic. Like, when one of the great IndyCar families is literally now just small car dealers. You know what I mean? Like Bobby Ray Hall is a car dealer first and foremost, and let that tell you about his politics and his chud son Graham's politics. Like, I feel bad for Mick Schumacher. Imagine being the scion of the Schumacher family and having to, one, clean up your career and go to America. Demeaning in of itself. Two, your first season is going to have to do the make a wish for a dying fascist. Like it's so. I was talking about how the vibes of this entire administration are just like, Grandpa's very sick, but we have the budget of the American government to try to make him feel good, and also he's a horrid racist. So yeah, the IndyCar 250 racists and racers.
Yeah, I pulled out a quote about this, and I wanted to play a game with you called Guess Who Said This? And I'll give you the quote here. President Trump has bestowed an incredible distinction upon our sport, and we're grateful for his trust and support as IndyCar prepares to honor our country with a tremendous racing spectacle. This will be a truly memorable event that celebrates our country's independence and the legacy of patriotism, innovation, and excellence that powers motorsports across America. You have one guess.
Is it Roger? Like, it's gotta
Yes,
be
it
Roger
is.
Penske. Yeah. Like,
Roger Penske, recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2019, 40 decades ago.
being a Porsche fan this week has been so complicated because the 9631 Daytona, handily, once again, I love that red and white car. Let me take a big sip of coffee and see what team's running that for them. And then it's just like, oh, yeah, like let's just look at Roger Penske's decaying corpse also, as he is also just wheeled around. But like, when you were reading that quote to me and I had to name which horrible man said this inherently ridiculous thing, I was last time Joanna and I drove somewhere, we were listening to Wait Wait Don't Tell You. Yep. Wait Wait Don't Tell Me. I know how to talk and what NPR shows are called. Hello, white women. I was just talking about how like there are news weeks so bad right now that I think being on the Wait Wait Don't Tell Me writing staff must be like, they're like, the suicide rate's gotta be astronomical. Like, Peter Sagal's just gonna blow his shit smooth off in the Chase Bank Auditorium in downtown Chicago. Like, I try to make this funny. I mean, I think this is fun, like, but
the only reason this is funny is because, like, okay, so speaking of the other man who is involved in IndyCar, who it theoretically could have been, it was Graham Rahal, right? Like, when he was asked for comments, he was interviewed in some NBC story about the IndyCar, excuse me, I have to get it right. IndyCar America 250 Grand Prix. We should put some respect on it. It's clearly a well thought out race. He's told
that's for sure gonna happen.
He told critics to, quote, get a life, end quote.
Doug, they're shooting people in the back, like in Minnesota.
They arrested 4 black journalists. Well, 2 black journalists, a local politician and a local organizer, all black people, in what was clearly an extremely like white supremacist use of like the Klan Act, for dissent. At the same day that I read this quote, and I was like, dude, I think maybe you're misreading. And of course, he insists that it's not tied to who the admin is. He would be happy to do this no matter like who was in the office of the president, which I almost believe because he does seem smooth-brained enough to be like, politics aren't real.
This is why for years I said Takuma Sato was Bobby Rahal's real son. Only Takuma won 500s for that man. Graham Rahal's done nothing.
Well, and it's funny too because like I was talking to my mother-in-law today, who I would say is probably like an NPR listener. And you know how much she's ever thought about IndyCar in her entire life before this week?
Zero?
Never. She's never thought about IndyCar ever. And you know what her first impression now of IndyCar is after this week? Because she's heard about this before I told her about it.
Racist, probably.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the
just
UFC.
bad.
It must be the UFC of motorsports, basically.
Ooh. Oh. Wow. NASCAR is woke now.
I know. Well, that's actually what she said to me. That was what was so funny. I always told her about this, and she was like, "I'm surprised it isn't NASCAR," because that's like the redneck right wing.
I mean,
That's her mental association with racing series. And IndyCar didn't even really register beyond, I guess, like maybe just around the 500, right? But like it was not a it was at the forefront of her mind. Um, and now her association with it, which is such a massive like unforced fumble for IndyCar PR to be like, oh yeah, we are struggling constantly to play catch up with F1 and build our drivers into like entertaining, celebrities that people like actually want to follow, and make the series seem as prestigious as like F1, and bring in this sort of like audience of normies. They've been talking about this since I ever met any IndyCar people, which had to be 2021.
it goes way further back than that. Like the Napoleon complex that IndyCar has, because I don't know, they're second fiddle to NASCAR here, and then globally probably third or fourth fiddle
Yeah,
in terms of racing series. Like, more Europeans give a shit about IMSA than they do IndyCar.
yeah. Well, IMSA's also better. I mean,
For sure, yeah. But like, I was thinking about this as you were saying the quote from Roger Penske is just like, IndyCar already has a race that celebrates America in a,
yeah.
here's a discussion from the Lost episode too, which might be our first bonus episode, but like,
No, we should leave it lost for the mystique because that makes us a real podcast.
does make us a real podcast. As my wife texted me, jump scaring me, is like, make sure you're actually recording. And I was like, am I not? And then, no, I am. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. She just likes to make me scared. But like, the Indy 500 is the greatest celebration of what America is about,
Oh
to
yeah.
me, that exists in motorsports. And the fact that like that's not enough, we've got to do what I assume is just going to be the tank tread ruined streets of DC as we make these Indy cars hurtle down. Are they going to have time to repave? Because DC streets always suck. God forbid the ones on the mall that they drove tanks around for, again, Grandpa's maybe last birthday.
From your lips to God's ears.
No, he's gonna live forever. He's gonna Kissinger us. It's gonna be so bad.
No. I mean, I saw a video this week where he pretty credibly, you could credibly make the case that he shit himself, during an event. And so, you know what? I don't know. I do not think he could live forever.
Not forever, but when then it becomes the Donald Trump Memorial IndyCar 250 at the National Mall,
Well,
brought to you by Blue Chew and Black Rifle Coffee or whatever. Like, I don't know.
to your point though, I mean, it not to put like too I guess sort of online lib a point on it, but like I've been to the Indianapolis 500 and I was really worried before I went, because Indiana is a conservative state. The Midwest is not always super welcoming to trans people. um, it's huge, and racing is conservative, and so I went on a work trip. But whenever I go on work trips, I like to go wander the infield and like go anywhere I'm allowed to go, basically, because I want to see and experience as much of the race as possible. And so when I went to the Indy 500, I was floored at how safe I felt. Like, I never felt threatened even remotely the entire time I was in that track, despite the fact that there are 275,000 people there in what is ordinarily a pretty conservative, small Midwestern city. And functioned as like an American melting pot. I think it was the proudest I have ever been to like be American, in the sense that I think I have not felt since I watched Schoolhouse Rock as a child, because it was like there are people from all over the world who have flown to this small town that isn't necessarily like the glitziest or the most glamorous place in America to visit, but you know, they were shown hospitality, they really liked the place, they were all very excited about the race. It functioned as this massive melting pot, and so, you know, not to be like too romantic about the concept, because obviously, you know, part of living in America is realizing it falls short of that very often, but it felt like one of the few existing places I've ever been to where it kind of approached the ideal that we've been told our whole lives we were shooting for. And so it makes sense that of course that isn't good enough for these people, because that's not what they want America to be. The America 250 Grand Prix is supposed to be the Dubai, whatever the Dubai course is for F1, I forget, or the Miami track, where it's like, you know, bunch of more exclusive concentric areas locked down for richer and richer people to go experience, and fuck the rest of you. If you live there, who cares if it ruins your life for a weekend? Who cares if it's dangerous for the teams to compete in it? Like, they're not what's important here. What's important is the spectacle for these rich assholes who run everything to get to feel like they are being celebrated and catered to.
Also, I cannot, like, even just scheduling wise, DC in August is going to be the fucking Satan's taint. Like, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be humid, and everyone's gonna want to die.
Yeah.
The entire time. Like, it's gonna be good for no one. Like, it's the same time of year where they used to have to hold the Texas Motor Speedway race at night, because that was the only time it was palatable to be in Arlington or whatever.
Well, like, they don't, I think the thing is like, it's all TikTok all the way down. Like, Penske and Rahal want a race that's on the National Mall because they want an Indycar next to the Washington Monument, because it's like, wow, look at how real of a racing series we are and how serious. Like, you thought Vegas was cool for F1, well, check this out. And Trump wants it because, well, I don't even know honestly, he's not even there anymore. Like, there's a single hamster just doing donuts on the wheel that's just momentum is carrying him through his daily routine at this point. But, you know, the people around him are kind of like, you see this with even like every single aspect of this administration, down to the, you know, the core of his kind of like domestic terror policy, which is immigration, where it's like, yeah, we're making TikToks. We are gassing people and clearing out parks so that we can have highlight reels of how cool and fascist we are. And so, of course, this administration figures out a way to somehow do Italian futurism even stupider than Marinetti could have ever fathomed, which is insane because he was dumb as fuck. Have you ever read the Futurist Manifesto?
Oh, no, I try not to read things Italians, right? I just know it's not going to lead me anywhere good. It's either going to be Catholicism or it's like, I don't know, fascism.
The Futurist Manifesto, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair. We had Gramsci too, but you know,
those are
just
true.
Depressing.
I like
those
a lot
are just
of
depressing
their
because Gramsci is like, these guys are really stupid, and then he died in prison because of those guys, and it's like, yeah, that's unfortunate. But no, it's like it's all just consumption and creation of image just ruling over everything, and it's so goddamn stupid.
But Victoria, on the other hand, I love a bad street race more than most things. Did you watch their and IndyCar loves a bad street race.
I've been to Long Beach. I've been to Nashville.
There we go. I was gonna say Nashville over the fucking bumpy bridge. Like, IndyCar has been a failed state racing series. Like, even when they're doing good, it's still not good. You know what I mean? Because the entire time it's like, someone needs to It's a Wonderful Life everyone in IndyCar, because they need to see that they've got it fine. But everything they do is so tinged with the fucking Robert Crumb regular guy, I fucking hate him, like, energy, when F1 is somehow the regular guy. Like, do you know how bad it is, where we are out fascisting the places Formula One goes. Like, we go to Hungary. You and I are illegal in Hungary for the gay thing.
Orban is like the guy. He's
Yeah.
like, they were inviting this guy to CPAC in like 2016.
Yeah, like, we go there. We go to every bad oil state you could think of, including America and the United States. Sorry, I'm not gonna forget the Canadian tar sands. Like, look, Canada looks rosy, but also, your sins are our sins, friends. We all come from the British. But, like, I want to go. And I hate that I want to go. Because DC's a cool city. That's the other thing where it's like, DC's a cool city.
I've never actually been to DC either.
It rocks.
I went when I was like 4, but I don't really remember anything except the subway. Because, of course I do.
Because of Fallout 3?
Huh?
Because of Fallout 3, a shockingly faithful recreation of the DC subway metro?
No, I just remember it from when I was 4, because the only thing that stood out to me when I was 4 was cars, planes, and trains.
That's so fair. Yeah, I guess what? The Air and Space Museum fucks. It fucks.
I believe it. Well, I mean, the thing that I just found out like 20 minutes before we went to record this on Sunday, the February 1st, was that they're gonna bulldoze the Kennedy Center. They haven't confirmed they're gonna bulldoze it yet, but like we all know he's gonna do it. He already knocked down part of the White House. No one's going to stop him. That's what's crazy. Is like they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna do an executive order so we can have the America 250 Grand Prix, and it's like, yeah, I believe that at this point because he can just do whatever he wants because clearly no one in any position of power is like, no, you actually can't bulldoze part of the White House because you want to build a ballroom. And so if you can bulldoze the fucking White House, I am positive he can fuck up a bunch of people's lives, shutting down all of the streets in DC for a race in which there will probably be a like 2-digit number of deaths from heat stroke.
Oh, yeah, and just like once again, I am wishing for the world in which Donald Trump was just gay, and he was just some old queen from Brooklyn. And sure, he probably would have been horrible in all of the regular ways still, but he wouldn't have been horrible and the president, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't get jump scared in Home Alone 2. R.I.P. Catherine O'Hara, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she was ever in a car movie, but you should go watch Best in Show tonight.
Yeah.
Go watch Best in Show. Relax. Don't think about anything that happened this weekend that was not the fucking End Wokeness 250 at the National Mall brought to you by a Bitcoin website and Truth Social.
Hey, don't forget the Trump phone. I love checking in on I think it's The Verge. I'll have to double check. But their updates on when the Trump phone is coming out, because the all American produced, they're gonna source the chips themselves. Actually, I guess that actually does bring us into the second great topic of this past week, doesn't it?
Oh, are we going into Tesla land?
I think we should.
I think so. Was there anything? No, it just bums me out because I just want to like.
Well, okay,
I want to like what Indycar does, but also they make it so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I will say the 500 is still one of the greatest experiences of my life. I would love to go back sometime. It's unfortunate.
I was thinking about going this year. We were talking about this, where I was like,
yeah, and the lost episode.
I go. Yeah.
I hope that at some point we can all start inhabiting the same reality again, so that not everything is a culture war in which I am losing. And of course, the thing that's nice for being transgender and making that statement is that if I lose, I'll be dead. So I don't have to worry about like what happens if I lose. So I fully intend on just winning. Again, woke 2.
Once again, I am sunnier than Victoria. I don't think things are going to be good. But I also don't think we'll be dead. But also, I didn't think Donald Trump would be president again. And I didn't think IndyCar would try to make they're also racing in Dallas, which is like, look, you want to race it for the pleasure of white racists. Like, Dallas is right there. Like, come on, dog. But
But
yeah, should we
yeah,
move on to
well,
the pretty related Tesla century of humiliation?
yeah, well, and like it's funny because I went through trying to figure out news this week, and most of the news in the automotive industry lately is kind of like, yeah, this car is getting canceled, this car company is doing badly, because nothing good is ever going to happen again. Again, this is where I am much bleaker than Jordan. But yeah, Tesla announced that they are canning the Model S and Model X.
Which, to be fair, like, they are, you put in the show notes that the Model S as it currently exists is 14 years old,
Yes.
and the X is 11 years old.
Yes.
And granted, like, they've done what?
Minor updates to the
There's
styling.
minor updates to both styling. They just redid the X last year.
Yeah, but all they do is just change whatever motors are inside it and put slightly more dense batteries. So like they've gotten faster.
LEDs too.
Yeah, but they've gotten faster, but they haven't gotten notably more modern. And the thing is, like when the S came out, it was a spaceship. I remember very early in my like automotive lifespan, I was living in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was trying to break into like automotive photography as kind of like a side job, maybe a job type deal. And there was this guy, I don't even remember how I met him, but he was some rich father, friend of a friend type deal who was like, yeah, come shoot my car. I just bought a Model S. And I did pictures for him. I shot pictures of like his fancy guitars in the frunk. We shot at like an abandoned gas station because like that was what you did because it was the only like it wasn't the only electric car. Obviously, like, the Leaf had come out, but the Leaf was like a car for nerds. And the S at the time, this is crazy saying this now. If you're under the age of like 25, you probably don't even remember this. But the S was a car for people who fucked because it was cool.
Did you want a Fisker Karma, but you wanted a car that worked?
Yeah.
Which even then, they didn't. Here's the other
No.
thing that I think we've forgotten as they have become a volume car maker is like, Teslas have always been kind of borked, but for the first like 8 years or so, before Elon has done everything he's done
Yeah.
and ruined ketamine for the rest of us, if I'm being so honest, like now the Steven Universe or ketamine dichotomy, both are lame. We fucked up so bad. And I'm not going to Coke. I can't do uppers. As I'm drinking a giant energy drink at whatever it is o'clock. But, you know, that's the chronic fatigue. The uppers just make me a crazy woman. But just like, I remember wanting a Tesla. I even wanted a Model 3.
Yeah.
Because the Model 3, the promise of the Model 3 being a sub $30,000, ha 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 ha, that didn't happen ever. Like, sedan that was all electric was like so cool at the time. And I remember when I saw my first Model X, it was Tesla was giving demo rides at the US Grand Prix, actually, at Coda years and years ago. It must have been like 2014 or something, because they were still pre-production. Might have even been 13. Anyways, but like, remember the first generation of the X with the stupid gull wing back doors?
Yes.
That they immediately had to get rid of.
They held on for longer than you would think they would have.
There's no way you could still spec one with gull wings, right?
I think you could.
Let me go to the Tesla website. A thing I've had to do too much this week. I was trying to figure out if the Tesla Semi was real still.
No. That never be. They built like 2 of them and they tested them for like 30 feet and then they didn't work and they towed them away and then we haven't heard anything about them since.
But Victoria, on their earnings call, they said that they're about to enter full production on the Tesla Semi in March of this year. A thing that's definitely happening.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I'll expect to see them rolling down the street at any moment. Well, no,
Yeah.
because this is the other thing too. Is right. So the Model S and X were like pretty. I know that they had flaws. Like if you want to drive a Model S as it should have been, without like Elon kind of forcing his vision on everybody, um, the correct vehicle you go drive is a Lucid Air, which is tainted. It's a great car. It's unfortunately tainted by the fact that they're like built in Saudi Arabia and, are kind of like a greenwashing scheme to be like, yeah, no, we don't just make money from Aramco, even though they lose a ton of money on Lucid.
Are they? Are the Lucid Saudi?
Yes. They build them.
Really?
They build them in the one of the special economic zones. I don't remember which one specifically. Yeah, they're like state vehicles there.
The passport surrender zone.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Also, hey, fuck me, I guess. The when you look at the Tesla website and for the Model X, gull wings, you can also still apparently order one. So maybe no one told the website people, hey, we're shutting it down.
No, they're making them through like the end of the year. Yeah, I couldn't remember if the X ever got the Y got normal doors and the 3 got normal doors and the X always they I remember they didn't work great, and I think they did eventually figure it out, but it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, you kind of botched your launch and made the SUV cost $20,000 more because of the Falcon doors, remember this, and the active aero rear wing that broke immediately on every SUV ever sold with it. And that was an Elon thing, and that's what the Lucid Gravity was supposed to fix, which, again, it kind of did from what I've heard. I haven't driven a Gravity. I checked it out at the, like, design studio before they launched it, and it seemed fine. It's a minivan. I mean, it's like an electric minivan.
It's a minivan, yeah.
It's a minivan that costs $80,000 or $100,000, or who even knows, and it's, it's fine.
So it's like cheap
why would
for
you...
a family vehicle now. I learned how much Escalades were the other day, and I almost threw up. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean the like Escalade V series is like $120,000? It's just GM product.
I think I thought they were like 150 for like the
I get it.
For the full V.
I saw triple digits, and I was just like, sorry if anyone gets noise sensitive, but also like look at the prices for Cadillacs and go, tummy hurt. Yeah, like, I don't...
Well, so here's the thing. The S and X, say what you will about them, but they were very important benchmarks in the history of electric vehicles. And they were one of, I would say, the last vehicles to come out that felt like they were sort of heralding a better future.
It was them. It was the BMW iCars.
Yeah, but like the Tesla, the whole Tesla narrative, like I've written a lot about Musk in my career, and the original Fremont plant conversion that they built, was Tesla's initial sort of factory to build all these cars in to bring forward this new era of American manufacturing and EVs, was an Obama era project that was intended to like help with clean tech. And of course, the reason that they are now ceasing production of the S and X is to convert that Fremont plant into building Optimus robots, as per Elon Musk, with an eventual goal of making 1 million robots per year.
That was right into the microphone, Depot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kitty Cat.
1 million.
For who?
Well,
for why?
So they're gonna kill all of us because they've decided that it's more expensive to keep people alive than it would be. They could make more profit if they kill every American except like 3 of them.
I've seen that thing try to load a fucking dishwasher. That thing's not getting me. Look, I'm not that physically fit. I can take one of those fucking things immediately.
The funniest thing that I've seen is when they did the like tech demonstration and they had it serving drinks, and you can clearly see it mime the motion of a VR headset coming off, and then it just collapses to the floor like a 300-pound sack of potatoes. Yeah, but that's what they're gonna build at the Fremont plant. That was kind of like, the birthplace of Tesla, the car company that was supposed to bring forth this like optimistic green capitalist future. Because like before we had the whole like Green New Deal with the Biden admin, we did have like a lot of green energy initiatives post 2008 with Obama, and Tesla was one of them. And now Tesla only makes cars for the worst Uber ride you've ever had in your life.
Oh,
because they are now
yeah.
down to the Y and 3. And apparently the 3 has gotten better. I've only been in older 3s where they do ride pretty rough. But the Y is genuinely a hateful vehicle. And if you bought one, you should get a free Fell For It Again award ribbon that you should have to wear when you walk out to your garage.
I,
They're so
every
bad.
time I see one that has the I bought this before Elon went crazy, I'm like, you have a Model Y. That's 2 years old max. Like, that
Yeah.
guy sucks.
Actually, it's like I think it's like 3 or 4 years old now, isn't it?
Every year past 2020 has felt meaningless to me.
That's fair. Well, I mean, he was. There are a few edge cases there, but like the Y existed for maybe a year before a flood of Hyundai and Kia EVs hit the market that are vastly better for the exact same price. And then at that point, it's like, well, why are you buying this? And then you're like, well, the superchargers. And then Musk fired everybody on the supercharger team, and Biden forced him to open them up to other competitors to get federal funding. And so then it's like, okay, there's no reason. There's literally absolutely no reason at all to buy a Tesla. And yet every single person in Seattle that has $40,000 to burn on an electric car is like, that Model Y? Yes, give it to me in refrigerator white. I would like to.
Why are they all the world's ugliest white?
Well, because it costs money to have color.
Right, yeah, I forgot that's the true hellscape. I At a certain point it's like, uh, everyone who wants an electric car in that price bracket should be shopping you or new Hyundais, or like at this point that Matt Farah cheapest Cross Turismo Taycan looks more and more like the move. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
we gotta.
it has the good badge on it, and it's already taken a 50% depreciation hit. Like, oh yeah. Granted, I was the woman who was looking at what Ferrari FFs are trading for, and they're sub 100,000 now as well. And is that electric? No. Is that a good idea? Also no, but like, would you rather give Elon Musk fresh money, or would you rather be a Ferrari's fourth owner?
Evil Antonio's used car lot in like the Fort Worth region.
Oh yeah, just bring a trailer car that you just go like, yeah, sure, yeah. I trust your records. I trust that you're not AI generating a Cadillac Seville.
Yeah, that one was pretty great. No, it's actually funny you mentioned the FF because at very early, like way before I had a career, I used to read the Wall Street Journal when I was like 14 or 15 years old because, I mean,
What the fuck?
yeah, I was
What do
I was
you
raised
mean?
in like a conservatism incubator. My mom used to drive me to the county Republican headquarters to make phone calls for Rob Portman when I was like before I had a driver's license.
Not Bobby P.
Yeah, Bobby P. I met him. I went to a Cleveland. I was a Cleveland then Indians game, and I sat next to Rob Portman and talked to him for a while. I don't remember anything about it because I was not. I was a miserable husk of a teenager.
I've been raised by very middle of the road libs my entire life, who again, through the bleep sections of last week, have surprised me with their evolving political views.
Yeah, no,
Um,
but I read the Wall Street Journal, and so I read Dan Neal every week. And Dan Neal wrote a
Big
review
Dan, yeah.
Dan Neal wrote a review of the FF when it was new that permanently lodged into my mind as like, oh my god, this is the coolest car ever built. And I've wanted one ever since then. It's one of the only Ferraris of the modern era I think I actually kind of go crazy for because it's an all-wheel drive hatchback, which means it's basically a WRX with a little extra kick to it.
It's probably more reliable than the average WRX as well. Genuinely, no, yeah. Every single time I see an FF, or what was the second gen called,
The F12s.
No,
Oh, there's
the
a GT4 Lusso as well.
Yes. I saw a GT4 Lusso in downtown Chicago, and I was like, you are the only rich person in this city who knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, ooh. Because that's a Four Seasons vehicle. I saw that Top Gear bit. I know it does. I know that thing does snow.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that was the tenor of the Dan Neal articles. It's a supercar you can drive in the snow. Which there was actually Matt Farah, who is a contributing writer at Road and Track and has the Smoking Tire, which if you're listening to us, you probably know what that is.
Shout out woke
Um,
Joe Rogan.
yeah, yeah. Every time he comes up, he says something like incredibly based about urbanism, and everybody's like, "Holy shit, how is this guy real?" It's like, yeah, he's just like that. We don't. He's the only car guy that I've ever met at that level of success and wealth who's just like, yeah, I think we should ride bicycles more. It's awesome.
He thinks we should ride bikes more. He has my favorite quote about your work is that we should only be giving penis-shaped vehicles to review for trans women, and I'm just like, yep, uh he was a big sweetie pie back to me when I was still writing. Yeah, we're people get annoyed with Farah for almost no real reason other than I think it's people who are mad that he's not a rich fuck
Yeah.
conservative.
No,
And let me tell you, Fat rocks. We
Yeah,
love
but-
woke Rogan in this house.
In this house, we believe.
In
The
this house, we
smoking
believe Matt
tire.
Farah is woke Joe Rogan. Indycar
The
is a
FF
failed
is the
state,
only good Ferrari.
and the FF is the only good Ferrari. Absolutely, and that sign will be on our shop eventually, and no one will buy it, but I'll be happy it exists.
No, but he wrote a story for Road and Track that I saw this week where he was like, he drove around a Aston Martin DBX, which is their big SUV, and he was like, this thing sucks in Los Angeles because the tires are rubber bands. And he was like, he described the story of driving down the street, trying to swerve to avoid a pothole, having the lane centering override his decision to get out of his lane and drive him directly through the pothole with, like, I can't remember if they were carbon fiber wheels or what, but they were like $27,000 options. And he was like, I love to explain to the Aston rep why their car made me cost them a new Honda Civic. And he's
To which
right.
the British
I mean, like,
engineer said, "Groovy, baby, yeah." Oh, I ain't never getting an Aston.
oh no, the thing is, like, I unfortunately, I think Astons are cool as hell because they're bad. Again, I discussed my approach to supercars last episode. Once you realize they're all kind of drive functionally the same at 5 miles an hour in traffic, it's just kind of like, what vibe do you like? And Aston Martins, you can't drive one if you're a guy. I'm sorry. You're not allowed. We are taking them away from you. There is no way to wokely drive an Aston Martin as a guy. You could put like a big rainbow flag, we love immigration sticker on the back window. It does not matter. Nobody is falling for it. But if you are a woman driving an Aston Martin, you automatically become the sexiest person to ever live. And for some reason, I think that it doesn't have the same connotation, you know? It's like you've transcended the role of Bond girl and seized your not individuality. What's the word I want here? Autonomy. You've taken back that autonomy for yourself. And so it's actually cool and based.
What are do you remember like the 2012, 2014 generation Vanquish that had the built-in spoiler?
Yes.
Those have got to be less than 100,000 now, right?
Oh yeah, they're like Aston Martin. Well, again, because Aston Martins are not good cars, they depreciate like rocks.
Which even the ones that are like reliable and good, like you can get can get a V8 Vantage for like new Civic money.
Yeah.
And it's going to be cheaper to run than a brand new Mustang. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Yeah, but like you still have to pay for parts and you don't have a warranty.
Yeah, but they're all Bosch or Ford parts. You just don't buy the one that has the wings on it.
Well, yeah, but then you curb your wheel and, it costs you $27,000.
Put a set of TE37s on it like a fucking adult. Come on, what are we doing here? There's one wheel that looks good on almost everything.
Oh, I I think it works on pretty much everything. But I mean, in any case, Farah's point was we should have basically all sports cars should just become rally cars because American roads are too bad to have like low profile wheels anymore. And I agree with him. I think we should. I think that our project for the podcast, now that we are on episode 2 and a wild screaming success, is to build an FF rally car, and enter it up at the Olympic Rally. I think that should be like
Honestly,
our
I'll just
season
take...
1 goal.
Can we just have Sidewall back? Like, what about that? Remember Sidewall and how it helped everything?
The dumbest thing that's ever happened to me in my automotive journalism career was I got a Toyota Crown, like the sedan one. No, that's not the sedan one, the crossover one wagon. Sorry, Bert is coming in and he's kind of like headed for the microphone. So I'm trying
Orange
to turn
cats
around.
are so funny because every other cat I've ever known needs to be picked up in a very specific way. Orange cats, it's just like hold him like a Coke can. You can do it. It's fine.
He just goes, he's just like, yeah, sure, this is happening now.
Go limp with mama.
No, I got the Toyota Crown. Bert, what are you doing? Come on, man. I got the Toyota Crown SUV, and it was the limited trim, which is like $52,000 hybrid, because everything is that now. And I got it right around Christmas, and my wife and I were going to go to Longmire, which is a little village at the base of the Mount Rainier, within the park, where there's a historic hotel, and that was where we were going to spend our Christmas together, because I don't like to think about the holidays. So the further I can be away from civilization and cell signal, the better for my mental health. And so we're going to someplace really snowy. It's chains required. So I was like, I'll just buy a set of chains and I'll write about it in the story. That'd be cool. You can't get snow chains for a Toyota Crown because it has 22-inch wheels with rubber bands slapped around them. And the only chains on the market for it are like $700 exclusive, like bespoke sets you have to purchase from like companies that specifically make low profile tire chain sets. And I was like, this really seems like something that would kind of suck if you owned this car in a place that had snow and wanted to go like skiing or hiking or drive across I-90 in the middle of winter. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because it's not usable, and it also rode worse because there's no rubber.
Driving through Pittsburgh this last week, we got 18 inches of snow.
Holy shit.
It's more snow than I've seen since I was a child in Minnesota. Oh, Bert. Oh, no one can see this. I shouldn't. Oh, he's such a sweetie boy. Yeah, honestly, we should just, at a certain point, we'll just edit together an episode that is just all of the cat meows, and then it's just... It's like that one Run the Jewels record. God, I often think that was one of those things that made driving a 1993 Miata for a year really doable in Pittsburgh with the terrible roads, is that there's just so much sidewall that it's just like, the roads suck, avoid potholes, but like the regular bumps just kind of die to the suspension and sidewall. And then, oh God, you want to talk about expensive wheels. The worst riding vehicle I ever drove for anything press related was when Cobb Tuning gave me their SEMA show car, which was a Ford EcoBoost Mustang. A vehicle that fucks, but it had $25,000 in 2015 worth of custom HREs on Pirelli P0s, rubber bands, tiny things. Every single bump in Austin was frankly just hellish. I don't even think they did the suspension. It was stock suspension still. But yeah, every single bump on the highway in Texas, which Texas highways are usually pretty good, but well,
and I mean, this is part of like the whole argument to be made about modern supercars in general, which is if you had more sidewall and you could get a little more flex out of the tire and you had a little bit less grip on it, you'd be able to get a more progressive idea of when you're losing traction. And then when you chuck it into a corner, instead of, flinging your car in a flaming wreck off the side of a mountain, you could be like, ooh, it got a little squirrely, and just catch it, which is what you do in like a Miata. Like I would argue 90% of why like older cars seem more fun is because generally speaking they're sprung and tired in a way that allows them to be much more usable on streets without killing yourself. Whereas modern stuff is like, hey, would you like to pull 1.5 Gs on the way to Costco?
I mean, like, I'm a psychopath, so, like, sometimes, yeah. Like, right? Like, yeah. Like, I don't
I
know.
will admit, I've driven a DBX 707, and yes, I did go pick up groceries and then, nail it on the way home. And I was like, wow, this is cool. But again,
Doing
like,
a 3-gear burnout on the way to Target just to feel something.
yeah, but I
Do
think,
you want to...
oh, yeah.
I was just thinking, you want to know what's in our show notes that makes me feel nothing except sad?
What?
The new S-Class.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of things that should have sidewall and be comfortable, but are probably sitting on 22-inch alloys that are going to crack immediately upon being shown any Midwestern city's pavement.
Yeah, my note on the S Class was that I thought the interior looked like a Ben Garrison cartoon about iPad kids finally getting driver's licenses, because it has the latest iteration of what Mercedes-Benz calls the hyper screen, which is just a dashboard that's a screen.
To hyper screen. Oh god. Well, they saw the Model X and Model S were going away, so they're like, we gotta have the iPad cars back. We gotta make that R bit now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else is. I've already discussed in episode 1, as I should have appropriately, that I have a vendetta against the Mercedes-Benz Corporation. So I refuse to care about the S Class, and I don't really know who their market is. It doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like it's got to start at 6 figures, because all the executive sedans do. And I don't know who's going around buying 6-figure luxury cars nowadays, who's going to be like, oh cool, I can access TikTok on the dashboard or whatever. I mean, maybe that is something that Mercedes-Benz buyers genuinely are like frothing for. I would never know.
It's for like there's an entire class of car that is designed to be just in the background of someone's short form video where they try to sell you a course on how to make it in like real estate or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
now you can watch those videos while you drive, thanks to the
it's a car
hyperscreen.
designed to be leased by real estate agents who are doing well for a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like crypto kids. Like maybe the big iPads are for crypto kids.
Possible.
I don't know.
I mean, do they? I don't know. The exterior, they've now extended the butthole light motif to the front, and the grille, which they've put the tri-pointed star everywhere they can cram it, so you never forget that there's a Mercedes-Benz tailgating you, which it seemed impossible to already.
I really like Daniel Golson. Comma but. The defense of the illuminated Mercedes star has been one of those things where I go, ooh, we're different types of gay people.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that's funny is like when I was younger, I always perceived of like Audi and BMW as being kind of like the like not childish but sort of like less mature, fresher money kind of like German luxury cars, and Mercedes was like, I did well for myself in my dentistry practice, and I wanted to get myself a little something nice for my 10-minute drive to the office from Gig Harbor. And like Mercedes is now like the most tacky, ridiculous, just seemingly like just throw whatever glitz and glam we can at the car as loudly as possible of the German automakers. Like BMW is like, hey, we build cars for people who think fascism looks cool. Like Greg Bovino probably had input on like the front end of the new 7 Series, where he's like, yeah, make it look like a concrete wall bearing down on a small child. Sick.
How dare you, Miss Communist? You should love the brutalist BMW.
Okay, I've said before, I think the 7 Series is very cool looking because it looks like it was a modern take on Cruella de Vil's personal automobile. But it is, like, they build vehicles for people who are like, yeah, I think being evil is actually a good career decision to make.
Do you remember that was Jaguar's entire bit also?
Yeah.
But they were trying to do it.
But they were better at it.
They were trying to do it like, we're villains, but woke? Question mark. And now everyone's just calling their electric car the F word. And once again, not the one that I say pretty freely on this podcast. But like, Mercedes has been suffering for the last 10 or so years a thing that I'm just calling G-Class derangement. Where the G-Class hit it big with a certain section of famous people in America, and now everything must become the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
You know, everything must be louder and more showy, and, like, it's gone from being, yes, quiet old money to just, like, look what I've got. This thing has a burble tune because I bought the AMG, but it's not like a real AMG. It's just kind of like a louder regular car. And it's got 45 starlights on it. And isn't that cool?
It is really crazy how much they have cheapened the AMG badge. Because, like, I remember when Lexus started doing, like, the F Sports, and it was like they could do that because nobody cared about the F badge. I mean, like, I care about the F badge. I maintain the RCF as one of the coolest sport coupes made in the past 20 years. I'm the only person who thinks that. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
No, sweet girl. we are in the. I look at used RCFs, like used early RCFs, pretty often. They're getting there. You do have to live with a 10-year-old Lexus, which I imagine the mechanical stuff will all work. All the software stuff. No way. That little mouse doesn't work anymore. There's no way.
My first ex bought an RCF while we were together and let me drive it some. And yeah, it permanently rewired my brain. It was just, she put a Tom's axle back on it. And it was just like, it sounded like the herald of the end of the world when she would floor it. It was just the trumpets that were going to return Christ to rapture everybody. It was incredible.
And that's what AMG's like. You know, you've got to turbocharge things now, and like they were trying to bring hybridization from F1 into like the C class, which I respect. But also, the last Mercedes that I truly loved, that isn't like the AMG Project One, because again, that's a thing that shouldn't exist. But like the C63 Black Series,
yeah,
is the most desirable German car, I think, of the century so far.
Yeah, but I mean, right after that is when, like, this is what I was going to get at earlier, is like they started applying the AMG label to more stuff that wasn't actually like an AMG car. And so it went through this cheapening where now, like, as kind of, I guess, I mean, I would still consider myself an enthusiast in some way. I don't know literally every car that is coming out constantly. But also, if I see a Mercedes-Benz on the street and I see an AMG badge, I kind of am like, oh yeah, like an F Sport. Which, to me, is like a catastrophe from a PR perspective, a branding perspective, to be like, oh yeah, we've made it completely mundane in the interest of, like, upcharging, like, 27-year-olds who had some Bitcoin that they had from 2013, who are like, whoa, cool, I want a loud C-Class. And then torching your entire, like, brand's reputation for being, like, classy luxury. But again, you know, I'm an unemployed car journalist, ex-car journalist, so what do I know?
We're doing journalism. This is journalism, I've decided.
No, it's not. Legally, it is not.
Legally, it's not, which means you could get in some real
Roger
fucking trouble.
Penske, no, I didn't mean anything I said. That was parody, baby.
I think Roger Penske's chud son owns woke Playboy, so maybe there's something
then,
cool in that.
What? You gotta explain that to me. We're like 6 months apart, and that was the most Gen Z shit you've ever hit me with.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like Playboy made a big show of trying to be woke a couple years ago.
Wait, so he actually owns like real Playboy?
I think so. Through whatever Roger Penske's son's media group is, the one that also owns like a Formula E team. There's no way Playboy's in the Hearst family. There's no way Chris Hardwick has part of Playboy. No, I want the Wikipedia. Weird, huh? That's interesting, DuckDuckGo. List of Playboy Playmates of the Month on Wikipedia comes up before the page for actually just the magazine. Oh no, it's its own group. Never mind. All right. Don't even have that, Roger Penske's chud son.
Well, they further proving that we are not journalists.
I'm just flat wrong about that. You've been writing again. I basically did the automotive journalism equivalent of edging by almost taking jobs at Jalopnik a couple of times and then just never doing it. Including when I'm like, they pay how much, and then you have to go to the office in Manhattan every day. That's not Manhattan money. That's not even Brooklyn money.
Yeah.
Do we want to, like, they're discontinuing the Santa Cruz.
Oh, yeah, I put that in there as
care.
a space filler. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, like, it's a weird car that everybody's going to be like, oh, wasn't that a cool, weird car in, like, 15, 20 years? The answer is no, it really wasn't. It's fine. Americans want crossovers, or, I don't know, maybe they don't. Who knows?
Is the Santa Cruz the pickup truck?
Yeah.
I didn't even figure. I thought we were talking about the Santa Fe this whole time.
No, the Santa Cruz is the little weird. It's like a Subaru Baja that they expanded by 25% in all directions except the bed, where they somehow shrank it.
Sorry, anytime the Baja comes up, I just think about the Achewood bit. I'm calling about the Subaru Baja. That's the ugly one, right? How many dogs that thing hold? God, what's a Baja going for? Patreon tier, we buy a Baja.
No, I think I honestly at this point, given what I know about used Baja prices, it's probably more reasonable to get your Cross Turismo.
Well, now we're talking. Patreon stretch goal: shared custody Ferrari FF. Come on, we've been such good girls and haven't killed ourselves. Come on, we deserve it.
I wrote a whole book about that. You're in it. It's literally called "We Deserve This,"
which is available through Carrera Books.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, thank God, I nailed it in one. I was about to say, I was like, I could see the logo in my head.
Yeah. Do you wanna discuss the calendar, or should we? I mean, we have recorded for an hour.
We've hit an hour, but let's end on one final note of levity. On the lost episode that no one has heard, and might not ever hear, ? We went through a game where I was expecting to be disappointed because last weekend was, or several weekends ago as we record this, was the 24 Hours of Daytona, which happens, unfortunately, in Florida. A state where I don't think you could pay me money to go anymore. Especially as everyone will have measles within the year, I think, based on them getting rid of all vaccine mandates. But we went through the IMSA calendar race by race, and we just did a gut check if we felt okay going there. And you know what? I feel like IMSA did shockingly well.
Yeah, they did.
Most of those states are at least cool purple states, or just fully blue states, or Canada. Soon to be our bluest 51st. But we talked a lot about IndyCar this week. Victoria, will you pull up the IndyCar 2026 calendar with me?
Gladly.
Let's
If I can
see
type,
how bad this one.
So because this is not because I am not a real podcaster, I just pretend to be one. I have a sandbag holding down a Razer microphone stand on my desk, so it's hard to type sometimes. But I've
What do you mean
there.
you're not a real How many podcasts have you recorded in the last 24 hours? And
This
how
is
many
my
are you
fourth.
recording in the next 24 hours?
There are 2 or 3 more. We might push one.
And ladies and gentlemen listening to this, this is why I tell Victoria that she needs to be nicer to herself. Okay, the IndyCar calendar.
This is not looking good right off the bat.
On, how
Jesus
bad
Christ. Well, let's start off with March 1st, the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, Florida.
In this smash or pass no thank you. I think even though actually no, as long as you could fly into St. Pete itself and you don't have to leave St. Petersburg, this one's probably rad.
Yeah, but you can't, legally speaking, you can't pee in the bathroom at the airport, so don't have anything to drink before you board your flight until you're in like national airspace, and then when you're over like the woke states, then you can go to use the bathroom on board the plane.
I just try not to pee in airports generally, though.
Yeah,
like right?
I mean, sure, but like sometimes you have to.
Yeah, I'd rather die. I'll just pee the second I board the flight. Like I'll just they'll direct me towards my seat and I'll go, no thanks, I gotta use this real quick, and then they will call an air marshal.
Still no, I'm not going to Florida. Unless I have a damn good reason, and streets of St. Petersburg is not a good enough reason. If the Rolex 24 hours
at the airport.
If the Rolex 24 hours at Daytona is not enough of a reason to get me out to Florida, the streets of St. Petersburg is not going to be.
Wow.
Next up, we have the Good Ranchers 250 at Phoenix Raceway.
What calendar are you seeing where you're seeing the sponsors too? Because I'm just seeing what races it is, and then you're hitting me with who's sponsoring it, and this is actually better. I no longer you read these because that's the Good Ranchers.
The Good Ranchers 250 at Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona, which is outside Phoenix. It's in Maricopa County. It's a suburb. It's probably hell. The only time I've ever been to Phoenix was for the Genesis event that I talked about on the first episode with the fancy racetrack. The other thing I did that weekend that I didn't mention in the last episode was our hotel that they were doing the G70 refresh event at was shared with a large celebration for PragerU staff on getting their curriculum accepted by the Arizona public school system. So I went in with my 4-inch Jimmy Choos and towered over everybody, and they looked baffled. Like I was on their turf. It was the Happening Hotel in Scottsdale, and there was this giraffe-like trans woman just leering at them. It was really uncomfortable. I hated it. It was awful. I don't understand why people live in Phoenix. You're not gonna have water in like 20 years. Granted. Obviously, there's probably people there who have lived there forever and can't afford to move. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people I met at this fucking hotel who willingly moved to Phoenix and definitely have the money to live anywhere they want. What are you doing?
I really like the Grand Canyon.
No.
And being in 112-degree dry heat.
Yeah, and air conditioning my 4,000 square foot McMansion.
Getting air fried like so many chicken tendies.
The next race, March 15th, is the Java House Grand Prix of Arlington at the Streets of Arlington in Texas. Which Streets of Arlington doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
No, this is the big Dallas race that apparently Fox Sports pushed for. Again, even when I was living happily, quote unquote, in Texas, like, dog, you can't make me go to Dallas. It's a strip mall pretending to be a real place.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
No, Dallas is not my least favorite city, but it feels the most miserable. Like, it feels like purgatory in the sense that it is not really actually a city. It's not really actually a suburb. It's just sort of a liminal space where people go to suffer. And I did not enjoy it.
It's where businesses go to be headquartered for tax purposes. You know what I mean?
Looking at you, Toyota.
Looking at you, GameStop.
Next up, on March 29th, we have the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham.
Imagine being a family that owes money to a children's hospital and then seeing that children's hospital sponsor an IndyCar race.
I will say, like, I know Alabama is not, like, a friendly place for us, but I actually have been to Birmingham, and it's awesome.
It's almost like cities are good.
Yeah,
like, it's almost like real cities are just good.
Yeah, like, Birmingham, that whole area is just, like, cool, and really, the tricky thing is just to, like, not get arrested there, because then it's bad. But I think bathroom-wise, it's kind of like you just gotta... I think Alabama is far south enough and like not on the front lines of the culture war, so they're not looking for like they're not roving gangs of people empowered to arrest trans women for using the bathroom, a la Kansas, where there's now a $1,000 bounty on our heads if we use a restroom. And so if you just like blend in with a group of like friendly cis women, they'll never notice you. It's like a Hitman level where you just walk into a crowd and it doesn't matter what you're wearing, they'll never see you.
Yeah, like let's hear it for cis bricks and just keeping us all safe. Laughing at my own joke like an asshole. I will pass on the Birmingham Grand Prix of Alabama. On the children's?
The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Next up, April 19th, the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. I've attended this one.
Would. Yeah, I have always wanted to do Long Beach. It's a bad racetrack, but
horrible racetrack to watch. Awesome racetrack to drive on, which is how I get to flex that I've done that. It's really cool. The audience can also give me the finger. That's fair. I occasionally found myself in insane situations. That was Long Beach is weird because it's like you're kind of in the sort of like demilitarized zone between like good Los Angeles and horrible Orange County. And so the vibes at Long Beach as a track are very, very strange because you have people who are like, this isn't Orange County anymore and I'm uncomfortable. And then you have people who are like, well, it's cool. I'm at a race and, I live in Los Angeles and I'm having a pretty good time. But still definitely fine.
I want to see someone take out the dolphin statue this year. The fountain, like just seeing an IndyCar just fully end up in the drink. Like it's Monaco in the 60s, but tackier in front of a Shake Shack or whatever.
Next up, May 9th, May 24th, we have the Sancio Grand Prix, which is on the road course, and then we have the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which, as previously discussed, is one of the greatest events in America. It's just like the coolest thing ever.
I want to go, but the feelings are so complicated.
Yeah, I mean, it's also Memorial Day weekend, and it's like one of the only events where I'm like, yeah, you can probably get away with this here. I feel like I understand the whole kind of like America's cool, and the jets fly over, and for that brief moment, you're kind of like, jets are awesome, and these are American jets, so they're extra awesome. Instead of, I bet it sounds like this right before we kill you for oil. It's just, you can just kind of switch off the idea that you live in a hellscape and be like, I remember the Great American Melting Pot song. That was cool.
Yeah, I'd probably cry listening to someone sing Back Home Again in Indiana.
Yeah.
I've got that in me.
I did. It's awesome.
Did you do the last Jim Neighbors one? Or Jim Neighbors died when you were before you were there?
I think he had passed before I went there.
Okay. Because that man was old, and they were still like wheeling him out on a dolly, basically, and they're like Jim Neighbors, and he's just like, I remember the one song. And everyone's just like, yay, Jim. And he's like, I'm dying. And everyone's like, Jim.
Next up, May 31st, we have the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix, Streets of Detroit. Absolutely.
I bet
Detroit's
this fucks.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The one, again, peak. This is actually, unfortunately, it goes against what I said about the America 250 Grand Prix earlier. But it's the Streets of Detroit, the track is pretty rough. And that is actually kind of the coolest street races to watch because the track should be an enemy. It should be your rival.
Everyone go watch clips from the last time there was a street race at Baltimore when they were going off of the fucking light rail tracks. It was bad. They shouldn't have done it. Great television. Incredible television.
Detroit's awesome. Next up, we have the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at the Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois. I don't know what
why does it... What? Sorry, this is somehow like you saying it. Why the fuck is it called the Worldwide Technology Raceway? That sounds like a .com bubble business that somehow didn't get the memo about the bubble bursting.
Their logo absolutely looks like a .com bubble business too. I don't know.
It's like finding out that like a race has been the pets.com like Grand Prix of Indiana.
I love the Enron 250. What are you talking about?
Did you ever go to the IndyCar street race in Houston?
No.
When it was still I never made it either. I should have.
But also,
that's where we almost killed Dario Franchitti. So maybe not.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Expel Grand Prix at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
Yeah, actually, I probably might actually.
Road America seems pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my dad, and my dad's like 6'5" and cool, so like I'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Next up, July 5th, we have the Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio, which was it's the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. I grew up not far from here. I went to many races here. Indy, NASCAR, it was the feeder series. Whatever. I call it the Busch series. Then it was like Xfinity. I don't know what the hell it is now. I saw SCCA.
I thought...
What?
Oh, now I get bashful and I don't know if I would commit to the joke. Anyways, the Busch series would probably be really cool. I think I have COVID thinking about the Busch series.
I saw SCCA Nationals at Mid-Ohio. It's one of the coolest racetracks, one of the best racetracks to spectate I've ever been to. It is absolutely sick. Ohio is hell. This is in a cornfield in the middle of fucking nowhere. I think you have to fly into either Columbus or Cleveland. I don't even know. And that's dodgy. I mean, they really hate trans people in Ohio a lot now because it's a fully red state instead of being purple like when I was younger. But this is, they have not deputized anybody to, hunt us on site. And so I might risk it because I love Mid-Ohio.
I want to do Mid-Ohio since I think it is the closest IndyCar race to me now. But also, how mad do you think they are that Ohio means what it is now to the kids? Because now it's just kind of like mid Grand Prix of Ohio. You know what I mean? Like, Mid-Ohio. It sure is. Anyways. Oh, I forgot they neutered... keep going. I just spoiled myself for the next race. I forgot they robbed us.
Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at Nashville Super Speedway?
Not the road course, no care.
Yeah, I've actually
Give me back the bad road course.
I've actually driven Nashville Super Speedway. I drove a Civic Si there. It's a track. I don't know. There's nothing special about it. Nashville is my least favorite city in America. I have never failed to get called a slur every single time I've set foot in it, which is like 5 fucking times. Because automotive events love being held in Nashville because they're like, wow, it's cheap and we all are based in Tennessee or Texas because we love right-to-work states. So let's do a unveil here. And it is like one of the few cities where you could make a pretty strong case that like white supremacy has unfortunately destroyed America completely and we can't save it. because it is just like everything about that city is like, wow, we had a bunch of interesting culture here, and then a bunch of rich racists came in and pushed out everybody who was interesting. I hate it.
Grand Ole Opry, Johnny Cash. That's national to me. Nothing else. Like, you know what I mean?
Next up, we have the BitNile.com Grand Prix of Portland at Portland International Raceway in Portland, Oregon.
Hello, T-slurs. It's Portland, Oregon.
I think I have driven the go-kart track here. Is that true? Yeah, maybe.
I like that you asked me.
I don't know. I can't remember if it's... No, I drove a go-kart track at a different race course. Anyway, I've never driven this one. It's in Portland. Why wouldn't I go?
Yeah, at Portland, Oregon. Yeah. One of 3 places on Earth where our people go.
Yeah, it's like that's like it's part of Cascadia. I don't even have to leave my like country boundaries.
Yeah,
I can take the Amtrak Cascades down there.
Yeah,
and then I could crash with like 50 different trans women who probably would be willing to let me like sleep on their couch. It'd be great.
Yeah,
August 9th. You want to go do that?
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, actually, I've been trying to make a Portland trip happen for a while. Maybe this is because I've got like, my Austin friends either moved to the San Francisco area, Pittsburgh, New York, or Portland. Nowhere else has anyone gone, and Portland is by far the most popular choice. So like, yeah, I mean, go crash.
Yeah, the Bay Area is cool if you stay in the East Bay. I don't like what the VC people have done to San Francisco, but like Oakland rules.
Why did my brain go like Viet Cong, and then I remembered what you meant?
August 16th, we have the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy at Markham, on the streets of Markham in Markham, Ontario. Sure, it's Canada. It's probably... Sure. I know nothing about this.
The only thing that's suspect is at best is that it's put on by the Honda Dealers Association.
Yeah, they're probably behind the Freedom Convoy, but, you know.
Una Petita Hitlers.
Then, it's been updated in the Wikipedia article, so you know it's real. It's the Freedom 250 Grand Prix of Washington, D.C. on the streets of Washington. TBD on broadcast time still.
It's not going to happen. But hey, if it does happen...
I want it...
Called shot.
You know, here's the thing. I want it to happen.
If you were a venue in Washington, D.C., and you would like a live episode of a podcast when the race is happening, let us know. trangirlismo@gmail.com. Like, fuck it. What if the race doesn't happen? Guess what? We could be there to clown on the race not happening for 4.5 hours. If it does happen.
I was under the impression, too, that it's like legal to throw a Subway sandwich at the National Guard there now, too, which seems like it could be a fun way to spend time. I'll have to double check with like legal, you know, our extensive and large legal department on the Trangirlismo team.
My wife, who stopped me from incriminating my parents and myself last week. Yeah. Plus, I don't know. I'll take photos of the subway stations. We could go to the Smithsonian.
Yeah, that seems pretty fun.
I'll be a trans woman. I'll take film photos of subway stations and then just end it as I become the most 30-year-old T-slur to ever exist.
As she takes an enormous swig of her white monster at 9 p.m.
Drinking one white monster so I don't become another white monster.
After the Freedom 250 Grand Prix of Washington, D.C., we have Snap-on Milwaukee 250 race number 1 and Snap-on Milwaukee 250 race number 2 at the Milwaukee Mile, August 29th and 30th in Wisconsin.
If my... Jordan lore. My family is from the Milwaukee area. My aunt, Judy, the butchest woman I've ever met, used to own a place called Judy's. Which used to just be a Dogs and Sons place. So there is a deep ancestral part of me that sees a sporting event in Milwaukee and goes, "Oh yeah, I should get fucked up there." on like Miller Banquet or whatever. Like, yeah, I should go get fucked up there. Like, yeah, probably. Do I think it's a good idea? I genuinely don't know what's going on with Milwaukee, but you know, I've already said I'll go to Road America, so sure, fuck it.
I don't know. Let's take a look at the Wisconsin government and politics. I'm not sure where they're at. I think that it might be a little dicey. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Is that where they tried to kidnap the governor a couple years
No,
ago?
that was Michigan. That was Gretchen Whitmer.
You're so right. You're so right.
Unfortunately, I have the ability to recall the past, which makes me a uniquely tortured American.
They say weed really affects your short-term memory, and that's not true because unfortunately I remember everything that's happened over the last couple of years.
The final event on the IndyCar calendar for 2026 is the IndyCar Grand Prix of Monterey at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. To which I say, I will take back everything nasty that I have said about IndyCar if Graham Rahal, you send me a ticket to that one. That's where I fall on that. I love Laguna Seca.
I just want to dead name it still. You know what I mean?
Oh, Mazda?
Like that place, yeah, that place is Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
Yes, that's correct.
You could take your WeatherTech buddy and shove it. That's Mazda's turf to me.
Yeah, that I have never been to Laguna Seca. I've driven Sonoma, which is also awesome, but I have driven roughly 12 trillion laps of Laguna Seca in Gran Turismo as a child. I think I drove it more than any other track, and I can basically like lap it with my eyes shut in most sims, just through pure familiarity of like every single turn. It seems fantastic.
It's like that is one of those canonical racing game tracks. Like, God, that's a list to put together maybe on a bonus episode, is just like what sim tracks are canonical, like you need this in a racing game to be real.
Yeah, we should do. I mean, so this is the other thing that I haven't figured out the exact details as of the time of this recording, so I'll be vague. But hopefully by the time this episode airs, I'll be able to post about it. I'm trying to put together a charity stream for the people of Minnesota, where I play a video game for like 16 hours. I did that a couple of years ago, and I raised like $43,000. And so I'm like, all right, it's time to dust this skill off. It's 2026. I'm out running now because I'm so fucking mad all the time that I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna work on self-improvement and like do whatever I can. So I thought about playing Gran Turismo, but then I was like, nobody's going to watch me play that for 16 hours. And also, I'd only get through like 20% of the game. So I was going to play Burnout.
I need to tell my PS5 to stop showing me how many hours I've put into Gran Turismo 7, because the number hurts my tummy. Granted, a lot of those hours are now wife time as well, but, you know, triple-digit hours on a racing game kind of feels bad.
Oh, I don't even... I'm so thankful that all of my consoles predated, like the statistic sort of culture of modern gaming. Like, it was before Steam made it where it was like, oh, I have like 10,000 hours in Civilization or whatever. It's like, no, I never had any idea how much I ever played, and I don't want to know.
That's how an ancient Roman would describe being alive, by the way. I have 10,000 hours of civilization. Oh, God. Hopefully we'll still have a civilization next week, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first successful thing I have done in, a year, so I would really like it if it would keep going, but, who knows? Maybe we'll be at war in Iran. Maybe we'll be at war in Greenland. Maybe we will abduct another head of state and arraign him on machine gun charges in a federal court. Who knows?
Full tech wear. I know I am going to word for word repeat a bit from the last episode, because, again, every time I have been anywhere that sells Nike clothing, I have been doing the track to see if I could build the full Maduro Dr. Disrespect fit. Because, again, I know he was up. I know they probably tipped him off, etc., etc. Anyways, they arrested that man wearing full Nike tech fleece. He was wearing $400 of tech wear, presumably either first thing he got up or he was sleeping in it, which, again, lock that man up. Lock him up. I was listening to another place where people can find you, Victoria. Well, there's your problem. An engineering podcast. Beat, beat, beat. With slides. When y'all were talking about Maduro, there was part of me that I was just like, oh my god. Please, will someone mention the fucking techwear fit? Will someone mention the Nike fit? And then none of you did.
We were going insane. We were trying to make sure that Devin earned their entire paycheck, which they did.
You should have paid Devin time. Like, I don't know Roz or anyone on that show
They
at
deserve
all.
time
Other
and a
than
half.
we're all Twitter mutuals now. Blue Sky mutuals, whatever's Twitter. It's Twitter. I've just been like, I almost DM'd Devin and I was just like, did they pay you time and a half? You should ask for time and a half.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm mad all the time. I'm out running, so.
I've just reached the point where I think you just gotta laugh, right?
I mean, that's what we just did.
Everyone's
I'm laughing
melting
about the
down
America
the new
250. I'm just rotating Stephen Miller's face in my mind when I'm trying to make it to the end of the interval while I'm running.
I just, it's not often that you... There's some great memes to come out of the most recent Epstein files, and let me just tell you, I'm. Let it be known, Elon Musk, always been a freak. Also, now that he's discontinuing the S and X, he can never do his Model E, so they spell sex.
No,
because you remember he was gonna do that.
No,
with
the 3 is for that. It spells S3XY, sexy. That's why they're named. I didn't
think about the Y.
Yeah, that's why they're spelled like that. That's S3XY. So now it's just gonna be 3Y.
Victoria, you ever just press your fingers into your eyes so you just start going to the shapes place for a little bit? The shapes that look like, to me, like pre-production car dazzle camo.
Yeah. No, he rip the world's worst bit from the possibly I can't say that.
Nope,
Definitely can't say that.
Allegedly.
From a man who will sue you if you don't call him a founder of Tesla.
A man who I heard arguing with Grimes when they were married in my friend's backyard. They weren't in my friend's backyard. I was in my friend's backyard. In Austin, a SpaceX engineer had bought a house in my friend's neighborhood. And so I heard, I was like, who's this man with a weird voice yelling at a whiny teenager? And then I realized, oh shit, it's Elon Musk and Grimes. Anyways.
I think that's
life's
a podcast.
Weird.
That's a podcast, right? Cool.
Yeah, again, people listen. We got them. We did it.
We'll try to have these out on Wednesdays.
We'll try to have them out on Wednesdays. If it slips a day or is a day early, like, fuck it, dog. Like, it'll be fine. Victoria, if people would like to send us an email for either a mailbag episode or a listener question, where will they email us?
Trangirlismo@gmail.com. You can also find us on the internet at trangirlismo.com. I am
This
also
woman is
working
so
on
impressive.
shirts. Because
this
people
woman's so impressive.
did ask. Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, I should just put together a logo. And I was like, well, I should do a website. And then everybody liked it. And I was like, oh my god, okay, I gotta actually make this look nice.
Yeah, I get a frenzied text, which was we're on a 3-hour time difference. It was earlier for you than it was for me, but I just hey, I have a website too, and I was just like, whoa, like because I was looking at like, should we go with Acast? Like, what's a good podcast hosting solution? And then you're like, Patreon could do it. It's everywhere. Here's the Spotify link, and I was just like, oh, all right, yeah. Also, like, look, we're not trying to encourage people to use Spotify, but we've got to use Spotify. You gotta.
Yeah, I mean,
being proactive here.
I was mostly just putting it on there because there were people that asked. We can probably
also,
yeah.
Spotify has been charging a debit card of mine that expired 4 years ago. So I'm going to be real. I haven't paid for Spotify in years. I'm hoping they still haven't got me. I've been at a premium account for this entire time, and I have not given them a red cent. That bank account doesn't even exist anymore.
That's actually Praxis.
I'm just getting in there. Like, yeah, I'll move off when they catch me eventually, but until then, I'm riding with them. That might be incriminating.
We can probably just cut it after the. Do you want to
Oh,
stop?
for sure.
Should we just stop now?
We should just stop
Are
now.
we stopped? Okay, cool.